Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Carter James Ranch here on an overcast Friday morning. Over here in the back of the property, you can see how much cloud cover we got. It's actually starting to spit. They're calling for about an inch or two of rain today, but over here moving the cattle. I'll walk over to them. We're getting ready to move them real quick. They're through these trees. I don't know if you can see them or not, but I was over here seeing all these hedge apples that had fallen. Hedge apples, hedge balls, also called, the tree's also called Osage orange. I believe many different names for it, but cattle will eat these hedge balls, and sometimes they choke on them because they try to swallow them whole. So I've been over here trying to pick up some of them. Can't get them all, but I figure it'd be good to get at least the real big ones, so no one's trying to swallow it. I've heard horror stories from guys that show up and they find cattle dead because they suffocated on them. So that would be not fun. So this is the worst part of rotational grazing here at the ranch. We're having them over here on this side of the pond. It's a little difficult to get them access to water, but now that the herd's a little bigger, we're giving them more space. So that's part of my problem historically, is that when we only had the 10 steers, much harder to get good impact on the grazing and move them adequately and get them water. Kind of difficult to have water over here. I don't let them drink out of the pond. I don't want them in the pond. I don't want them ruining the bank, nor do I want them especially drinking in the summertime, just give them the runoff from the golf course. This time of year might not be as bad. There's not as much chemical activity going on at the golf course. But so here we are. Let's see here. We're November 4th today. We've not been back here for probably coming up on 60 days. It's starting to rain here, and we've got some pretty good forage here that they'll be able to eat on. Back here in this pasture, I need to get back here and clip out some of these thorn trees. We've also got a lot of this brush that's growing up. It's actually starting to lose the leaves right now, but I'm actually looking forward to having a few more head of cattle so that we can get better trampling, to see over the next 2 years, just by grazing this and getting the animal impact on the ground, are we able to thin out some of this brush back here? Because there's actually pretty good grass. I come down in here, there's actually real good forage back here. It's just this brush in the summertime, it gets pretty thick and the sunlight can't always get through. So here's the herd right now. We've moved them across the dam. They came down across the dam over there yesterday, and they were grazing over in that corner. And then I just opened up this little section here, and you can see it's always different adventures with having younger, smaller ones. They can walk right underneath the hot wire. And actually right now this is not even hot. It's as I'm moving them, it's all turned off. But two things that's interesting with having younger, smaller animals when you're doing this rotational grazing is they can obviously get underneath the hot wire a lot easier. And when it comes to the water troughs, it's really important to keep the water pretty full and to have a couple smaller troughs, just because they can't always get down into the bigger troughs. So there's a bald eagle. I don't know if you can see it in the screen. Oh yeah, right there. Can you see the bald eagle? Yeah, he's flying across the... Sorry, I didn't catch him very good. Beautiful. Bald eagle cruising across the ranch. So we see some of those from time to time. So let's walk in here and see what kind of forage these guys... Yeah, see these guys, they've got a good amount. There's Socks. He's doing good. Here's, let's see here, who's that? No, that's one of our heifers. And yeah, this gets a little dicey back in here with all these thorn, little prickly things, but cattle seem to do well and just kind of walk around it. So, yeah, so they're kind of got plenty of room back here, plenty to eat. I'm about to open up that section to where I just came from. We're gonna get a couple inches of rain today, so I figured I'd give them some cover in the trees. And like I said, I was trying to pick up as many of those hedge balls as I could, just so that we don't run the risk of somebody wanting to chomp down on one of those. Here's 4907J. He's one of our nicer Nicer heifers. Hey, good morning. How are you? She's a good girl. Her and Sweets. Sweets has gotten real, has always been friendly, but 4907 has gotten to where she lets me pet her. She's a good girl. So this guy right here, I always just love looking at him. I posted a picture the other day on our Facebook page, and he was in our last video. He's just got a beautiful coat. He's filling out well. We've got, let's see here, beginning of November here, we've got a couple more months with these two right here. Then they'll be heading off to get processed. So beautiful animals, and looking forward to having some homegrown beef. Not looking forward to saying goodbye, because I really do enjoy having them on the ranch. So here we are. Here's the rest of the herd out here munching away, enjoying a cool day. It's let's see, it's cooling down here. It's gonna get down to 37 degrees tonight. Was a high this morning of 69. But everyone seems to be doing pretty well for early November. I know these cattle got to be loving the cooler weather after the summer. They probably enjoy the fall. The flies have pretty much subsided. If we get a warm day here and there, we'll see some fly activity. But you know, this kind of stuff. This is a rose bush back here. I need to get this thing sprayed or burn it off. I don't like using pesticides at all, but sometimes it's good to hit it lightly and then maybe burn it off. So yeah, I just think historically this back part of the ranch, when cattle with previous owners were allowed to free range all over, they just wouldn't come back here. You know, it's kind of a longer way to walk away from everything, and you can tell it's just kind of gotten brushy back here. So looking forward to keeping the cattle back here. This is just part of our 45 to 60 day rotation, and seeing how if we can knock this brush. Here's a good example of how thick this brush is. You can see it with the purple little berries on it. But you know, here in the thick of it, you can see we got places that don't have any grass, and then we got some grass. In the summertime here, I would actually put their water back in a clump of this, so they would have to walk through this. And I think the going theory is, over time, especially through the fall and winter here, is if I can get the cattle to knock this down, come spring, it won't grow back as fast. It'll allow the sunlight to get down to the grass, and we'll get more grass growing. Over the winter time here, I will be rolling hay out over this, so that'll be a good project over the winter time to monitor how well the trampling that the cattle do, putting the hay down, and how that fosters the growing of more grasses and forbs, and trying to get rid of this woody stuff. So that's how things are going here at the Carter James on Friday, November 4th, I believe. So I need to grab these water troughs, move them all the way over to the other side of that bank of trees, and then we'll get ready to move the cattle, fill the water up over there, and make sure these calves have access to some clean water. So thanks for watching, everybody. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and we'll see you on the next video.